Hey everybody, welcome to American Idol Unaired. I'm your host, Bennett Shear. We have got another singer that you didn't see today from season 19 of American Idol. Please welcome Janie Hughes.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm great. I hear you just got back to college. That's very exciting.
Indeed, I did. Yes.
How's your summer?
My summer was well. I was in Tennessee for most of the time with my sister because she had a new baby. So I was helping her babysit. So that was
Oh,
beautiful. And then I came back home and I was getting ready for my semester. I went to the beach, had a very chill, very, very eye-opening summer. So yeah.
well, congratulations. That's so exciting to hear about the baby, and I'm glad you had a good summer. And I'm so excited to talk about American Idol. But first and
Yeah.
foremost, I want to get to know you, Janie. I would love for you to tell us a little more about yourself, what got you into music, and yeah, take it away.
Okay, so let's see a little about myself. As you heard, I am in college. I'm a sophomore at Morgan State University. I am a musical theater major, so I am continuing my passion for the arts. That's why I chose this major, because I want to continue to develop my skills as a music writer, as a performer, and all around actor, dancer, singer, everything. I feel like I've always had a drive and an understanding of music being the universal language. Like I was always able to connect with people through music. So just having that experience, I was like, okay, this is something that I think I want to continue to do. And I have the gift to share it. So why not?
Yeah, always. Why not? Who would you say were maybe some of your influences as you got into music?
My earlier influences, I would have to say, were like Jennifer Hudson, just people whose voices I feel like I resonate with and that I can connect with. And now I feel more connected to like music like Londrell. He's like a spoken word artist.
Hmm.
And Janae Aiko, let's see, Cleo Soul. So a lot of people that combine their music with higher knowledge. So that's
Mm.
really what I'm into now. Yeah.
That's really cool. And so I'm wondering, about how that all transcended into American Idol and how you brought that unique sound into the show. So 2 seasons ago now that you were on, and I'm wondering, were you approached? Did you try it yourself?
Well, actually, it's funny because I believe you had Josh Randall on here. The
Yes.
yes, the idol producer. He
Hmm.
actually messaged me through Instagram, and I
Hmm.
was like, "Yo, this ain't real. I don't know
Yeah.
about this." And then I messaged back. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm interested. I know opportunities come to me daily and lively. So I was going to go for it. So we set up a few Zoom calls. He got to know me a little bit. I sang for him, and he was ready to just continue working with me so that I could get to the next level. So yeah, but I
Very
always
cool.
knew about Idol. Like I've always watched it. I was like, this would be a cool opportunity. And the universe heard me because they were like, okay, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I heard you mention Jennifer Hudson. Obviously, she was on the show a long time ago, but
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen
Yeah.
over the years, all the different people that have gone on to
Yes.
do big things.
Mhm.
Did you bring any of your spoken word to, were you doing that within your own songs, or were you
Um,
doing more just singing?
so 2 years ago, honestly, I have changed a lot since then. So the way that I was performing then is different than now. The way I carry myself is different than it was now. But I still always had this this I want to help and change feeling towards it. So
Hmm.
when I was there, I sang the song Every Time I Breathe, which by Arlisa, which basically talks about overthinking and like the words are every time I breathe, every time I'm dreaming in my bed, 7 days a week, thinking of the words that I once said to you. So those words kind of it's something that you're able to connect to, but in a positive way. Cause there's music that you connect to, but then you get like angry with it because of the vibration that it's on. But there's other songs that help you heal while connecting to it.
Hmm.
So I still had that approach to it.
How did you find the audition process once you were meeting with producers virtually and showing them what you had to offer musically?
Yeah. Okay. So when I was meeting with Josh, I let's see. I didn't really know what to expect at first because it was something new. I was just ready and open for it. But when I first met with him, he just told me to come back with like 3 or 4 songs to sing like just for him. And then the next meeting, he would want to hear like 3 or 4 more songs. So I was like, okay, so I got to do a little bit more research, like being consistent with learning new music and just finding musical pieces that really fit what I am trying to like bring across. So that was a pretty different experience, but I liked it. It was cool.
Yeah, I know that Josh specifically really does work with contestants to kind of almost develop you just for that one audition alone and really is thorough as far
Yeah.
as picking a lot of songs, figuring out who you want to present yourself as when you go on the show. So I think, that's pretty cool that you got to work with him.
Yes. And also he met my family. So he had us like all come in the frame together. And he
Yeah.
was just like basically interviewing all of us. And it was pretty cool. And we were just my family, we're very goofy.
Yeah.
So like the whole process, it was a really great experience, very free flowing. And I really do appreciate that part of the experience.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Mhm.
And I'm sure that other producers came into the picture before you got to the judges. You had to get the okay from, I think, either Trish or Megan or one of the executives who was in charge
Yeah.
at the time.
Let's see. I don't think I directly spoke to them. I think Josh transferred all of that. I did email with Trish and everyone about it, but I didn't have that specific like talk with them like by myself, basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So
Mhm.
that I mean that's some pretty cool treatment you got right there to just kind of do your thing
Yeah.
and wait for them to
I
be like, okay, it's you go. You're
yeah.
on.
When something is for you, it will be shown.
Yeah. Which city did they send you to go and audition in front of the judges?
Which city? I went to both times I went to Los Angeles.
Tell me about what it was like when you got on set. Obviously, as listeners know by now, we've talked a lot about the season 19 contestants dealing with COVID. It was at the height of the pandemic,
Mhm.
so I'm sure a lot of protocols in place, and it made things a little bit more unusual as far as production goes. But what was the experience like when you got there and just seeing all the lights and cameras and meeting other contestants? What do you remember about filming the auditions?
Yeah. So the first thing I remember is when we were at the airport, we had to go to a sign. I forgot what it said. It was like
Tater
Todd's.
tots?
Yeah, something like
Vanessa said
that.
that. Yeah.
Yes. And I was like, okay, well, that's me. That's where I gotta go. So when we got on the van, I think it was about maybe like 6 to 12 people on the van, like just spacing everybody out. Everybody had to wear masks, like being real safe, real cautious. And my experience with the people on the bus, we were just talking, saying how nervous we were, how excited we were, how ready we were, just the different energies of everything. And then when we got there, we first went to our hotel. So let me think. I'm trying to remember everything.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So when we got there, we did have to stand in a line just to check our names in and everything. And then when we got inside, we had to do our COVID test. And then I think we went right to our rooms until they got our COVID tests so that, to make sure everything was good. And then after that, I'm pretty sure they were sending out emails. We had to do certain like Zoom calls, certain times. Some of them were pretty late. I'm not gonna lie. Coming from like the Eastern time going all the way to LA, the timing difference, the 3 hour difference. So I was up a little later than I would usually be, but it was pretty cool. And then when we had to do like interviews and stuff, they would just ask like really, I don't know. I just never got asked those questions before. So it was very eye opening. And I learned a lot about myself through that as well. So it's a great experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to dive a little bit into the interview process. First of all, having somebody ask you these questions and knowing that you were being filmed, what did that feel like for you?
For me, it honestly felt like I was preparing for so much more. Like, I know that I am meant to be performing. So it just felt like I was preparing myself for future auditions. So I was taking it as practice and just experience for when I continue to grow into the artist that I will be. And my mom was there. So I was like looking over at her, like every question.
Yeah, like,
But
what do I
yeah,
say?
yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about like the vibe between you and the contestants and some of the people that you met because I mean, I'm sure a lot of waiting around was happening and you got to get to know other people that were auditioning.
I honestly don't remember a lot of people's names. I'm not good with names. But I did meet a lot of cool people. Of course, Vanessa, but I didn't meet her honestly until the duet round.
Right.
So I guess I'm just gonna skip ahead a little because I don't remember anybody's names. Um, but yeah, when I met Vanessa, it was really cool. We had a very limited amount of time to work together with the music, but we still did find time to, learn about each other and to continue that relationship past like the audition. So I definitely met someone that was really cool and that I would continue to maybe make music with. And yeah, it's
I
great.
think even if you walk away from that show meeting one person, it still makes a difference because one
Most definitely.
connection is everything.
Yes. And I think I'm also in an American Idol group chat. It's just filled with some people from American Idol, basically. So we keep each other updated. We promote our own music on there. So we definitely, there is a community for sure. Like, do
Yeah.
I know everyone individually? No. But do I keep up with everyone? Yes. So it is pretty nice.
Something you guys are always going to remember because it was a big opportunity and I think it was a learning opportunity. I mean, as you said, even being in that interview room, you knew that this was going to prepare you for whatever came next. And,
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that you maybe as much as you were present in that moment, you were also thinking about what could be next for me, and
Yeah.
not just being so wrapped up in American Idol because I think that when you enter a competition or even just being on a TV show, it is temporary. It is something that you don't know how long you're going to be there. And especially at that stage when there's big cuts, you don't know if you're going to get aired. It's very important to think ahead and know, what, whatever happens, it's okay. I got this far, but let's
Yeah.
let's see the bigger picture of
Yes,
the whole,
indeed.
my whole life.
Yeah. Yep. Because everything happens for a reason. I got that tatted on my body right here because I know
Hey,
that everything does happen for a reason. And just any experience that you may encounter, just know that that is happening for the betterment of you. It's not happening to you, but it's for you. So just, having that free energy. And if, whatever happens, I know it keeps going around and around, but everything is everything.
as far as your feeling going into your performances and when it was time to actually audition, do you feel like that sort of mentality kept you calm? Were you nervous? How did the performances go?
I love performing. So of course, I get nervous. Everyone gets nervous. That just shows that you are human and you're having a human experience. So, but I don't take that into fear. I don't take that into being scared. I separate the two because there's no need for fear in something that is for you. So, as I went into my performance, let's talk about the golden ticket one. So
Yeah.
as I was preparing to walk in the room, of course, there were people in front of you. You had to just wait around a little bit until you could get in the line. So when I got closer to the door, that's when I was really doing my breathing. Everything, your breath really controls your whole nervous system, honestly. So if you're ever feeling any type of like tense energy or overwhelming nerves, just allow yourself to just be free in it. So before I walked in the room, that's what I did for a little bit. And then when I walked in there, I was just myself, just hi guys. The only thing about that part that I didn't really appreciate was that I practiced with the pianist, but there wasn't one in the room. So I had to do my audition a cappella. I'm okay with
Mm,
that because I practiced it like that. But just they said that they would provide that, but it wasn't there. So
mm.
yeah.
What was it like with the judges? I'm curious if you remember the kind of dialogue that went on before your actual singing began with
Mhm.
them.
They mainly asked me about my background, what got me into singing. What else did they ask me? Maybe I think they asked me how I felt about Idol, like, have you ever wanted to be on Idol? Just, the questions that they ask, just to get, a little sense of you before they hear you. Yeah.
Hmm. And then what song did you perform?
That's the one where I did Every Time I Breathe by
Uh-huh.
Arlisa. Yeah. So I did
Gotcha.
a song that's not really known, but that's what was on my heart and it worked. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. What was the feedback from the judges?
Yes, I believe so. My nervousness did get to me just a little bit. So I started the song in the wrong key. That's also because, the pianist wasn't there to set me, but I could
Right.
have done that on my own, taking self accountability. um, but yeah, they were basically just talking about maybe should have done it in a more comfortable key. But overall, they said that the tone of my sound was really beautiful. So I did appreciate that because I was getting hard on myself. Like, I know I did that wrong, this and this, the things we're our worst critics, basically.
Yeah.
So just doing all of that. But that's basically what they said. The contrast about the tone and, my the key choice basically. So yeah, just giving
Hmm.
me the pros and the cons of everything.
Now, did you get two yeses, three yeses?
I got 3 yeses.
So going into Hollywood week, I mean, how are you feeling? Because again, I think you had that mentality where it's just like whatever happens, happens. But this is like a whole nother level where you're with so many more people, and obviously the stakes are raised as they would be anytime that you advance. But they're really testing you with all these different challenges, and as we'll learn, like the duet round was really something, and even genre challenge. You're up against so many people; it's a massive cut. So did you have any kind of new perspectives going into Hollywood Week?
Let's see. I knew I was gonna have to prepare for like late nights and just allow myself to not be so hard on myself. So that first time I went home, the whole way home, I was just like, even though I got the ticket, like you can let that stuff pass you so well. You forget the beautiful things in life when you're so wrapped up in your own head about stuff. So I definitely took that as a lesson. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me go into it with more gratitude this time, with just I'm grateful to be here. Whatever happens happens, basically. And I'm just prepared. As much as I know everything happens for what it will be, I'm still going to go into it prepared and doing my best. So that's basically the shift that I went through.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I'd love to hear about your first performance in Hollywood, which was genre challenge, and to start off with, which genre you chose.
I believe, honestly, I think I chose soul. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I sang, what was it? So, Nina Simone, Feeling Good.
Ooh, good song.
Yes, I love that song so much. I sang that so much, so I was ready. I was prepared for that one.
Yeah, there's so many renditions of that song too, and Michael Bublé has one, and there's a Nina Simone version.
Yes. And I like the words too, like just knowing that basically going round again, that everything I'm feeling good through everything that comes at me, basically.
Yeah. I remember just like a little selfish tidbit about me, but I remember in my senior year of high school, I actually put on my own like singing competition. Like I
Mhm.
produced it, I hosted it, I got students to be judges, I got kids to compete, and I basically was like my own TV producer slash Ryan Seacrest, things like that. And I also got sick the week of the show, so I was like kind of freaking out about it.
Yeah.
But on the day before the performance, when everybody was going to come in the auditorium and watch this thing that I had put on, I was like, you know what? I need to add a little extra sparkle, razzle dazzle. And I'm not an artist, but I had sung in the high school band and I sing for fun. So I was like, I should open the show with the curtains opening, me as the host singing feeling good, and then be like, are we feeling good tonight? And so and I was sick and I was really
Mhm.
nervous and I'd like barely rehearsed it, but I went for it. It was okay. A little
Yes.
shaky. I was sick, but it was still fun. It's just such,
Yeah.
I just thought of that because it's just like such a fun memory. And that song, I just think, again, I probably didn't sing it at my best, but I think it brings a lot of people joy, you know?
I agree. And honestly, it's about the performance. The voice will come. And
Yeah,
even if the voice is shaky, how we feel, or
right.
you know what I'm saying, just getting out of our head about it, just putting on the message, basically. So I know you got that message across. So
Even like I don't know if you ever listened to Flo Rida, but he even has like a pop version where he samples Nina Simone in the chorus and then he raps and it's
okay, I
called
have not
Feeling
heard
Good.
that. I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Yeah, if you ever want to just like bop your head, it's called Feeling Good and he samples her and then he raps for the verses.
Okay. Okay, we'll do.
Yeah. So anyway, so you sing Feeling Good. If I'm correct, the judges don't really give you feedback in that round. So you're kind of just waiting to see whether or not you get through.
Yeah, so I sang and then I believe that I just left the stage. I don't think there was any feedback. There was just a conversation before, like a welcoming conversation, and then the music started. Honestly, that caught me off because I thought we were going to talk a little more.
Yeah.
But then I just heard the music start. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm ready."
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the only conversation. And then yeah, we did have to wait around. I think almost the whole day, maybe not the whole day, maybe like a few hours, and
Hmm.
then eventually we had to come on line with one, two, three, about like six people back on the stage. And they just, I was it, did we have to step forward or stay still? Honestly, I don't remember. But it was either one of those actions. And I was in the line that was continuing. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Were you a minor at the time? Because I know that obviously the kids had to do school.
Yes, I was a minor. My teachers, I remember Mr. King. I'm gonna do a shout out to him because most of my teachers, I told them about it. They were like, "It's okay, like just come when you can, get your assignments and when you can, just for this week." And but I went to Mr. King's class because I appreciated him. Like he was a cool teacher. I enjoyed listening to the way that he thought. And he actually gave me a shout out in the class and he was like, everyone send like good energy to Janie. And he was posting on his Instagram. He was like older man, so it
Uh,
was cool to see him doing all of that. So just seeing the support that I had really also helped me through this process because I was like, you know what, there's so many people that I can inspire by doing this. So just going for your dreams, just honestly do it all, don't limit yourself.
what class did Mr. King teach?
um Oh, me and my memory. I believe that he taught, it was either PE or, yeah, I think it was physical education. So it
Uh-huh.
was but it was over Zoom. So we really didn't do
Right.
anything like physical. So we really just sat down and talked about health, basically filled out a health chart, like work out at home, just fill it out.
Hmm.
So during the class, it was very inspirational. We watched TED Talks. So he was also somebody who contributed to just my appreciation, like one of my support systems.
Hey, first of all, if you can make that at-home school entertaining and inspiring, then you're a real one because
Yes.
we all had to sit through a lot of hours of virtual education.
Yeah.
So, Mr.
Mhm.
King, you
Yes.
sound like a goat. Like
Thank you.
and honestly, like it really is important to have that support because it must mean a lot knowing that even at this point you didn't know whether or not you were going to get aired, but you knew that you were making a difference for the people back home, the people in your
Yes.
family, your community, school.
Mhm.
And I think that that's neat that whether or not America, the viewers got to see you, the people in your life got to know what you were doing and
Yeah,
support you.
indeed. Yeah, it was a beautiful personal experience. So that's why I don't have like any hard feelings. And I don't think that you should about not getting aired because it again is entertainment and some things you're meant to experience but not fully go through. So I was just grateful for that personal experience that I got for my growth.
Yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. I'd love to talk about the duet round because, as I just said, I have it very fresh in my mind because I just
Yeah.
talked to your duet partner, Vanessa Dominguez, and sounds like it was a very interesting experience. But again, we learn, we grow. And so, just to kind of give the listeners a refresher, can you kind of tell your side of the story and just give your perspective on how duet round was for you?
Okay, yes. So, duet round. So, we came to record. So, everybody was sitting in like separate chairs when we were recording. Like, it was outside, it was an outside scene, sitting in like those big outside chairs with the I don't know, it's an outside chair. And there was like a glass wall. You could either see your picture or your partner's picture, but we didn't know at the time. And then we had to go up and pick our cards. So my name was called. So either one partner got called. So I got called to go pick the card off, and then I turned it around and I saw Vanessa. So I was like, Vanessa. And then you basically had to find them and then go sit with them. So yeah, I we went to sit next to each other. I think we had to, continue watching as everybody did theirs. But afterwards we had to pick a song and we chose Grenade by Bruno Mars. We went through a lot of them. We were like, okay, I know this one, but I don't really know this one, or I kind of know this one, but I know that one really well. So that was just the one that we ended up combining on. And yeah, after we got our song, we went into the hallway because we wanted to make sure that we were nice and secure, but also had somewhere where we felt like comfortable singing and collaborating, making our harmonies and stuff. So yeah, we went to a hallway. I think it's the entrance of where our hotel was. So we were just down there singing, and then we went further because we wanted to, fully sing. So we went further to the side. It was a nice echo over there. People were walking by that weren't a part of Idol. They were like, "You guys sound really good," and I'm like, "Thank you." So we were practicing over there, and then eventually we had to go upstairs to practice, like with the voice teachers, like the vocal instructors, basically. So we had to show them what we had, what like key we wanted it in, and we did it in the original key. And he was basically helping us after we already decided like what we thought was best for us. He helped us go through making sure that the voice parts were right. And at this point, my voice wasn't as mature as it was now, but I was still singing in like my full belt towards the end, like towards the end basically. So I was a little nervous about that, but I made it do. And yeah, that experience was really cool. Like I had a lot of fun with Vanessa. Yeah, we were the smooth duo. That's what our name
Yes.
was. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think I guess what was a little bit surprising was you guys had the chance to work with Luke and he gave you some positive feedback, and
Yeah.
then when you had your performance it was less positive feedback from him. So
Yeah.
it was a little bit, it probably caught you guys off guard.
Yes. So it just, I don't know, it just felt different as the day, like as the next day came. So it was
Uh-huh.
beautiful, positive, yeah, affirmations basically telling us like it's good, maybe add more harmonies, and that's what we did. So then the next time we saw each other, he was saying basically it was just a little much. But that happens. I forgot that, I wasn't even going through. Like I was okay. Like I was genuinely like, all right, come on. Well, she had to walk down one aisle, I had to walk down the
Right.
other. But then eventually we met back up and we talked and stuff. But so after I walked off of the stage, um, I had to go do like the interview afterwards, how you felt. And of course I was a bit emotional, even though given the fact that I was okay with everything, and like of course it's a little disappointing in a way because you see so much for yourself, but I had to release my emotions and I let that's the only clip that they had of me in there. So
Mm-hmm.
that was funny, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, like everything that you experienced, I think from the beginning you kind of were just accepting of whatever the outcome was, meaning however far you made it, you were just going to appreciate everything. Like you said, you walked into Hollywood Week with gratitude,
Mhm.
and you probably walked out of there with just the same amount of gratitude.
Indeed I did.
I know that it's been a little while. I know that you've talked about going to school for theater, but I'm sure that there have been a lot of different things that you've been pursuing when
Mhm.
it comes to music.
Yes. So I started my college experience. So last year was my first year in college. I was actually going through some vocal health things towards
Mm,
the end of the first semester, and I found out that I had pre-nodules on my vocal cord because I'm involved. I definitely have allowed myself to be cautious with how much I use my voice. But I was involved with a lot of choirs at the time. So adding on like individual voice lessons scheduled here at the school, plus Morgan's choir, it was taxing on my voice. So I had to go to voice therapy and a few vocal doctors just to make sure that I'm taking care of myself. And
mm.
through that, I just learned like, I know that you want to share your voice. I know that this is what you're here for. You touching everybody, and it's a beautiful thing, but you have to make sure that you are giving to yourself as well so that you can continue to give throughout your life, and so that this isn't a temporary thing, because I would hate for my voice to be a temporary thing. So it just gave me a better appreciation of my voice.
Yeah.
um, yeah, so now I am making my own music. My voice has definitely healed a lot. So I'm grateful for where I am, what I've experienced, and yeah, that's me.
I know you mentioned that you said you feel like your voice is more mature now, and I'm wondering, just from a technical standpoint, if the vocal therapy if any way, actually improves or does anything new for the voice, even though it's healing what you had before?
I think throughout this process, I also changed the music that I was listening to just because I like to hum to my music, and the music I would listen to before had a lot of like belts and stuff. So I listened to like more soothing artists that did like different inflections with their voice. So I feel like listening to that and mocking that with the little voice that I had, because I had to bring it back, but I didn't want to stop singing completely. I feel like that also changed my ear a little bit when it came to, okay, I'm going to do that there, or I like that chord. So I'm going to maybe do like a minor inflection. So
Mm-hmm.
just changing, just as I am changing my voice, it elevates with me.
Right.
So yeah. And I loved my vocal teacher. She was awesome.
Yeah. Another shout out.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that that also goes to show that what's interesting about being a part of American Idol is that, you can be there at a certain time in your life and then, time goes on and you change as a person, your voice changes, what you listen to changes, the kind of music you make changes. And so I
Yeah.
feel like, maybe that reflects a certain time in your life given all of those factors. And then who you are now might be different. So have you ever considered would are any of these shows for you to ever go back to? Do you think you would ever re-enter the competition space, or do you think that you're kind of happy doing your own thing without any of the shows?
Josh reached out to me again. Honestly, I don't know if I'm supposed to be sharing this. I'm not sure, but you can always cut it out. But he reached out to me about the show I Can See Your Voice. I
Mm,
believe, is it on Fox?
yeah,
I'm not. Okay, yeah. So he said that was a new show. So he reached out to me about that. So I may be on that.
I love that show.
Mm-hmm. So that is pretty much the biggest opportunity in regards to going back to the TV perspective of things. So yeah.
I really enjoyed hearing like how in depth you've gotten about sort of, the kind of the mindset that you've had and sort of the gratitude and thinking about everything happening for a reason and being mindful of the breathing you did before your audition and just kind of how connected to who you are as a person. So I'm kind of wondering if you'd like to share how you feel maybe you've changed since American Idol, whether it be musically or personally, and how you think that you've evolved.
Okay. So I have definitely my biggest lesson since I believe I'm just going to do it by semester because that's how I remember it because I'm in
Uh-huh.
college. So this last semester that I had, I really had to release control in regards to trying to make everything happen as I want it. Like, okay, I want it to be this way, but you have to realize everyone is different and not everyone goes based off of what you think is right. So
Mm-hmm.
just allowing myself to be free with that. It takes a lot of tension and stress off of you as well when you do that. So just allowing life to just flow and knowing that you are a human being, not a human doing.
Mm.
So allowing yourself to just be. That's also I did a reading on myself yesterday, like a tarot reading, and the card that I got it was the bee, and that's so funny. Look at the synchronicities in life. There was a bee swarming around me the other just yesterday, and he got a little scared. He was like, "There's a bee by you," and I'm just like, it's okay. Like, and that's how I see my growth as well. Because I would not have done that before. I would be like, oh my God, how people react.
Yeah.
But I have been so connected to nature, going out into nature, doing meditations, joining things that I feel like help my growth. So just that experience, it was so beautiful. And it was like right here by my heart. And I could feel it. I feel it now. So just allowing yourself to be just creating freely. That's honestly what my music is about. So if you want to listen to my music,
Yes.
my artist name is Janie, Janie, and you can find me on all platforms. And I teach about that. And that's also what I know that I'm here for. Every day, I feel like my, what is it? My purpose, my daily purposes continue to grow. And I'm just here to share. So, yeah.
I just have to say that, you touch on nature, and I feel that I've found in the last couple years how connected I've become to nature, and it's so calming a lot of the times. Just if you want to add something to your day to make it more eventful, you feel like you need something to kind of spice up your day, go outside, go for a walk, find a trail, find a lake. I think that life is so enriched when you take in as much nature as you can.
I agree. And honestly, if you feel like you need somebody to talk to or something to talk to, go talk to a tree because trees, they love getting that energy. It doesn't matter if it's angry. It doesn't matter about that. It's just that energy transfer. It knows how to filter it out. The trees, the grass, it's been here for so long. So
Yeah.
they know what they're doing. So just honestly go speak to nature, go be with nature and listen. Like I found so I live around a lot of woods. So I can
Mm-hmm.
just walk out of my house and I can be down in the woods. So I walk down there like a few times during the summer and just sitting there and not hearing like any cars, not hearing any sirens, not hearing any basically man-made things, and just hearing the breeze, feeling the breeze, listening to the birds, all of the animals out there. It really puts you in a different environment. Like it's otherworldly, honestly.
Yes.
So just feeling that, like you realize how much life it honestly humbles you. You just look around at these beautiful things that are naturally here, and it's just like that is me. So why can't I be at peace as these beings are, as these trees are, as these creatures are?
When there's so much chaos, and unfortunately a lot of it has to do with maybe humanity or things that are man-made, but nature has just been there since the beginning of time, and it's grown on its own. I wonder, when you talk about the trees, do you think that part of the trees almost maybe listening or being wise has to do with the fact that they've been there for so long, almost likening it to maybe a human who's been alive for a long time, who is older, who therefore has more wisdom, has more experience, thinking of like a tree being alive for all that time and therefore knowing more things.
Well, when it comes to humane wisdom, I don't think it has to do with age. I feel like it's the age of your soul because
Mm-hmm.
I'm 19 years old, but I feel like my soul is very wise. So that also comes from like my past experiences from past lifetimes because honestly, as we live, we continue to carry these things on and we don't forget anything. We just have to relearn it in a different body, in a different experience. So, ash trees, they have been here, and I just feel like they, I don't know, it may have to do with timing. I'm looking at a tree right now, I'm trying to understand it. um, but it may just be that they're just they're just peaceful. I don't know, but if it has to do with age or anything, but it works. They're there, and I think they're there for a reason. So it may be age, but it may just be the fact that we need them here. I know we
Mm-hmm.
need them here to breathe and everything, but
Yeah.
also to just recycle that energy and just. So basically, what I'm saying is go talk to a tree.
Yeah. No, that's a good idea. And
Yeah.
that's cool that that's great that you have a view of a tree from your dorm room.
Yes, it's so beautiful. It is. I'm sitting at the window right now.
Yeah, no, that's great. Honestly, I've been like looking at all the decorations in your room too because I
Yeah.
loved all the posters.
Yes, I love to decorate. That's one thing about me. I love making things homey and just being comfortable
Yeah.
and just knowing I have a safe space to come back to, even if I have like a stressful day, just knowing I can release that before I enter my space. So,
Oh yeah, especially like when you're at college and it's kind of like it in some ways it's like not temporary because you're only going to be there for a certain amount of time and you switch dorms maybe every year or you
mhm.
go home at the end of every semester, but even for the time that you're there, even if it's only for a couple months or weeks at a time, you want it to feel like home because you should always feel like you're at home.
Yep, most definitely. I agree. And
Yeah.
this is my second housing. Now I am kind of off campus,
Hmm.
so I can stay here for the rest of my time if I want to, but I do want to experience other housing, so I may move around on campus, but I love this setting. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I would love to hear you sing, Janie. And I know that you mentioned that you've got an original song that you want to share. I'm so excited for this. So, can you tell us about the song you're going to sing?
I would love to. So this song is called Breathe. I wrote this song looking at myself in a mirror. So it's basically a self affirmation song. Just when you hear the words, it'll tell its own story. So, yeah, that's basically what you need to know. So, I'm going
Cool.
to perform the rest for you.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna move this over here. Okay, let's fix that a little
Ooh, I
bit.
get to see more decorations.
All right. So this is Breathe by Janie Hughes. I also go by Ja. You are an angel who's lost their way. I know you feel that your wings just faded away. The illusions that are placed upon your face as you feeling like you're running, but where's the race? But just know when the time is right, you will take first place. So just breathe, breathe. So just breathe. Just take some time to breathe. The evil in life will try to break you down, but you gotta get up and place your feet on solid ground. Cause you know deep down what you're capable of. You just gotta change thoughts into words and those words into action. So just breathe. Yes, take some time to breathe. So just breathe. Just take some time to breathe.
Wow, that was so beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I gotta be honest, the first thing I'm thinking is that your singing voice sounds so much older. Like it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
You know, like it's such a good thing. Like you know, 'cause I feel like after all the wisdom that I've taken in from your
Thank you.
speaking voice to then hear it in the singing voice and to hear a singing voice that just sounds so much older, it really was so cool.
Thank you. That's why I feel like my soul and my soul's name is Ja, so that's why I also go by Ja.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I just feel like they are they're very wise and very mature. So that has to go with my physical body that I am here with. So yeah.
I feel like I noticed there was a part of that where even though it was all singing, I kind of could tell where maybe there was some influence from spoken word just
Yeah.
because of the fact that, it wasn't you weren't trying to fit into kind of sort of like that maybe line by line like
Mhm.
melodically designed pop song. You were
Yeah.
able to kind of just sort of sing freely in a way that could almost be similar to speaking yet
Yeah.
put to music.
Indeed. And that part, that I this song has got me through a lot. Like I would sing this so much. Like I would even cry during it because this really is a song I wrote for myself, but I know others can just learn so much through it. So the part that's like, the evil in life will try to break you down, but you gotta get up and place your feet on solid ground. Because
Mm,
you know deep down what you're capable of. You just got to change thoughts into words and those words into action. So
mm.
basically, just manifesting and just speaking your truth and speaking your peace and living freely with that. So,
Wow. Can I
yeah.
just ask, like, there's never one source to this, but like all this stuff that you feel like you've learned in your lifetime, and we're both very young, so a lifetime, well, for you, I know you talk about your soul, but where where do you feel like you learn from? And I don't know if this is the kind of thing that could go on all day, but just if you had to kind of list a couple of inspirations, maybe it's people in your life, or maybe it's other teachings that you've been influenced by, but where does all of this come from?
I believe it is gifted to me. So, of course, I am learning as I am here, but I have a specific connection with my divine. Whatever you believe in is everything. Honestly, I believe again, everything is everything. That goes full circle with everything. So I have this connection with them where as I'm learning in life, I get these downloads and lessons. You can call them lessons as well. And I take that knowledge, I put it in a safe, and I just continue to grow on it. But physically, I feel like I learned from books. I read The Alchemist. I recommend that for anyone and everyone. The
Mm-hmm.
Alchemist. Let's see. I have honestly a whole bunch of books up here. Mindfulness. Um, let's see. I haven't read this one, but I may. It's called Firekeeper's Daughter. Just a whole bunch of everything. Let me show you the book. So this
Oh,
is The
yay.
Alchemist.
Uh-huh.
So this right here, get
Yeah.
get you this.
Okay.
So yeah, through books, through my knowledge, through wise people that I encounter within my life. I know that I want to grow in knowledge per se. So I'm gifted with those people in my life. An example, I might as well give it to you.
Oh yeah.
The other day, I went to a movie night. My friend invited me. And towards the end of it, there was this beautiful willow tree. And I have yet to see a willow tree where I live, like in Baltimore City. So I had to sit under it and I meditated under it. It was so beautiful. And then afterwards, me and my friends, we were curious about this certain plant and why it was in a divot. And it was to catch rainwater. It was what's it called? Swamp grass. That's what it was. It catches the water so that like they don't have to go through a sewer system. Basically, it all happens naturally. So this lady told us all of that, and she just kept going about her life experiences and lessons that she's learned. So that's how I learn as well, through others people's experiences. And as I share my experience with people, I hear their perspective. So really just taking in what other people have to share, even if you don't agree, just knowing that that perspective is out there basically. So
Wow. That's
mhm.
awesome. I mean, your friends must be so lucky to have you and to kind of get to experience everything that you teach them because or anyone in your life really. And I know you said that you feel like it's kind of your purpose to teach and to impart all this onto other people. And I am wondering if there's anything that you've considered as far as, is that strictly through music or have you also considered other ways, whether that be a career path or things that you would do outside of music to, share what you've learned with other people?
So through my freedom, I continue to show like on my persona, like different clothing, basically like dressing the way that I want to dress. And through that, I can see that that has impacted the way other people think, like, wow, that really is beautiful. I am being myself basically. So I feel like me physically carrying my truth on me influences a lot of people. So I do it through my physical, I do it through my vocal, I do it through my speech. I also paint, I do art. I really don't sell my art, but I would love to get into that.
Hmm.
That's why I say don't limit yourself. So I have no limits to the way that I am here to share.
Yeah. I mean, I was just imagining like if you ever taught a mindfulness class or a
Yes,
breathing
I would
class.
love to. Me and my friend, we were thinking about doing that here on campus, actually, doing a guided meditation because I love doing meditations. And when I'm meditating with someone, I can pick up on what they need specifically to hear, to feel. So I love guiding meditations that I know can impact you. So doing that, mindfulness classes. I want to learn Reiki. Also, that lady that I connected with the other day, she teaches Reiki. So, I might get into that soon, which is healing of the body, using your body to heal others' body through the energy in your energy centers, which are your hands and your feet. Um, so yeah.
Wow. Well, this has been so eye-opening for me because I've yet to meet anybody like you, Janie, honestly, on this podcast.
Yeah.
And that's such a treat because I love to walk away with new insights and just getting to hear you sing now as well. That was really such a pleasure. And I'm assuming that that's available for streaming and that there's a lot of other things people can go listen to if they
Yeah.
want to.
Yes, indeed. Again, my artist name is Janie, Janie. My first album is Oop, I should know the name of it. But my single is called My Sound. So if you find that, you click on more and you will see all of my creations. And this song is actually the one that I am releasing this month, my monthly song. I like to do singles by monthly, and then occasionally I'll do a group and album, depending on how I feel which ones collaborate together well. So
Hmm.
so you will be hearing that one soon.
Oh, I'm so excited. What about social media or anything else online that people can check out to stay in touch with you?
My Instagram is at Janie Mage, at JANIE MAGE_. That's same with my TikTok. I sing on there as well. I do covers. And let's see what else. Am I on anything else? I Instagram Janie Hughes. Um, yeah, and I think that's me.
Very cool. Well, Janie, I really appreciate your time. And guys, if you enjoyed this conversation, if you have not already subscribed on Apple Podcast or Spotify or wherever you may be listening, please do so. You can also give us a rating or a review. You can watch these interviews on YouTube. Just type in American Idol Unaired. And then you can follow us on Instagram or TikTok at Idol Unaired Podcast. Janie, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being a part of American Idol Unaired.
Thank you. I am very appreciative of you reaching out to me about this experience because I love to share.
Oh,
So just thank you and continue to do this. This is a beautiful opportunity for our voices to be heard. So thank you
oh,
for what you're
that
doing.
means so much. That made my
Yeah.
day. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.